As dusk settled over the small studio apartment, Ella put the finishing touches on her latest masterpiece, a portrait of a faceless figure cloaked in shadows. The young artist had always poured her emotions into her work, using the canvas as a sanctuary for her turbulent thoughts. She stepped back to admire the painting, feeling a chill run down her spine. There was something unsettling about the figure, something that gnawed at the edges of her rationality. Brushing off the creeping unease, she turned in for the night. The following morning, Ella noticed a subtle change. The figure in the portrait seemed less faceless. The outline of eyes and a faint hint of a mouth had appeared. She laughed it off, attributing it to her overactive imagination. But as days passed, the figure took on more distinct features. It adopted expressions that mirrored Ella's darkest thoughts: anger, sorrow, despair. She could no longer ignore the feeling that the painting was alive. Sleepless nights ensued. Ella tried covering the portrait, turning it to face the wall, even storing it in the closet. But every time she did, she heard whispers, unintelligible yet filled with malice, echoing through her small apartment. One night, the whispers evolved into a chilling silence. Ella woke to find the canvas empty. The figure was gone. Panic surged through her as she searched the apartment, and then she felt it, a cold, breathy presence behind her. She turned slowly, and there it stood, the figure from the portrait, no longer confined to the canvas. Its eyes were hollow, its grin sinister. Terror paralyzed Ella. The figure advanced, feeding off her fear, blurring the line between her waking hours and nightmarish visions. Shadows seemed to move on their own. Every creak of the floorboards amplified her dread. Days stretched into weeks, and Ella was caught in a perpetual nightmare. The figure would disappear, only to reappear in reflections, in dark corners, always watching, always waiting. She couldn't create. Her art supplies gathered dust. Her apartment became a maze of fear. Desperation led her to seek help from a reclusive art historian rumored to dabble in the supernatural. He listened as she recounted her ordeal, then provided a chilling solution: to confront the figure and reclaim her fear. Mustering every ounce of courage, Ella returned home, painting in hand. She faced the figure head-on, staring into its hollow eyes. "I am not afraid of you," she whispered. The figure hesitated, its form flickering. "I am not afraid," she repeated, louder this time. The figure let out a scream, a cacophony of agony and rage, and then it disintegrated, dissolving into the shadows from whence it came. Ella collapsed, tears streaming down her face, the weight of her fear lifting. The portrait was blank once more, the faceless figure gone. Exhausted but free, she vowed to create art that brought light, not darkness. Her ordeal became a distant memory, a cautionary tale of how creating from shadows could invite them to life.